Hello everyone! Recently, I met Robert Hack in Altoona, Pennsylvania at Sci-Fi Valley Con. I saw a book on his table and I knew I had to have it. Afterlife with Archie magazine. The cover alone had me sold. The dripping Archie logo, zombie Jughead, all complete with the EC horror look. How could I not pick this up? Robert was even kind enough to autograph this for me. I want to talk a little bit today about this book. The magazine's main feature is the first issue of Afterlife with Archie. There is also a 6-page preview for Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and even some reprinted material from Chilling Adventures in Sorcery, a comic from the 70s I knew nothing about. First, let's talk about Afterlife with Archie. In the opening introduction of the magazine, we learned that the series was inspired by Francesco Francavilla's variant cover to Life with Archie, issue 23. In comes Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa. Roberto is a playwright, screenwriter, and comic book writer who has written for Marvel Comics, been involved in a wide variety of notable projects from being a co-producer and writer of Glee to writing the 2013 remake of Carrie. It turns out Roberto bought a copy of Life with Archie 23 with the variant cover, took it home, and there were no zombies to be found. He'd been duped. A week or two later, he's having breakfast with the head of Archie Comics, John L. Goldwater, and his son Jesse, and the topic of this zombie-themed comic book comes up. Within hours, the decision is made. The art by Francesco inside this comic has a brilliantly blood-splattered, eerie atmosphere. The colors are carefully chosen with a lot of black and shades of red and blue. You don't get as many of the usual corny puns or the typical in-house Archie drawing style. The characters here are given a more dynamic look. This is the same gang we all know and love, but this is a very dark, serious, and spooky tale. For people who grew up reading Archie comics, some parts can be rather shocking and intense. You won't find this comic on newsstands. This is the first title by Archie Comics to be suggested for teens and up, for violence and mature content. The story opens tragically as Jughead arrives to the doorstep of Sabrina the Teenage Witch in hopes that she can help him save his beloved pet, Hot Dog. After declaring Hot Dog dead, Sabrina resurrects the dog using the Necronomicon with disastrous results. As anyone who's seen Pet Sematary knows, you can't bring your pets back to life. Speaking of horror movie references, there's little tidbits here and there that reference Alfred Hitchcock, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Night of the Living Dead. As you may have figured, Jughead is bitten and becomes the first human zombie in Riverdale. Will he crash the Halloween dance? Read the comic to find out. It will definitely leave you wanting to rush out and get issue 2. In fact, issues 1 through 5 have all been collected in a graphic novel. In between issues of Afterlife with Archie, Roberto writes Chilling Tales of Sabrina. The 6-page preview explains a part of the origin of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It turns out Sabrina's mother made a pact with Hilda and Zelda. They gave her the ability to bear children, and she was to give up her first child. After snatching the baby away, the witches find her and have her committed to a clinic for the mentally unwell. The artwork is brilliantly done, intended to mimic Archie's Red Seal comics. Robert Hack's art style did a great job of setting the mood for this supernatural coming-of-age thriller. Every panel is beautifully illustrated. This 6-page preview is also currently available at archiehorror.com. I can't wait to read The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I went to my local comic shop to see if they had a copy. They didn't, but I did find this instead. Archie vs. Predator. This is issue 1 of a 4-part miniseries by Dark Horse Comics. We can also look forward to Archie vs. Sharknado. This 48-page comic will be released on Wednesday, July 22nd, the same day that Sharknado 3 will debut on television. At the end of the magazine, there are 2 stories from the vault, Esma and Monster on My Back. These comics were originally published in Chilling Adventures in Sorcery in the 70s. I enjoyed reading these old black and white comics. There are also some sketches by Francesco from the Baltimore Comic Con. Overall, this is a fun tribute to classic horror comics. Even the texture of the cover and the pages inside have a retro comic book feel. Here's a fun fact.
On April 4th, 2003, Dad's Garage Theater Company in Atlanta was scheduled to debut Robert Aguirre-Sacasa's new play, Archie's Weird Fantasy, which depicted Riverdale's most famous resident coming out of the closet and moving to New York. The day before the play was scheduled to open, Archie Comics issued a cease and desist order threatening litigation if the play proceeded as written. It opened a few days later as Weird Comic Book Fantasy, with the character names changed. Fast forward a decade later, Roberto has been named Archie Comics CCO, Chief Creative Officer.
How's that for a success story? Maybe this means one day we'll get to read Archie's Weird Fantasy in comic book form. If you'd like to watch more of my videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel right here. And if you'd like more information on Archie, you can subscribe to the official Archie Comics YouTube channel here. Look forward to seeing you all soon.